Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So with all my cars, I run dash cameras except for my IS300 project car. So recently I picked up this Kingslim D5 4K dash camera. So we're gonna be installing it today, doing a review, and then comparing it to some of my older Anker cameras that I've been using for the last couple years. So stay tuned. Alright, so we've got this dash camera here. We'll go ahead and unbox it. It's a 4K Wi-Fi and GPS enabled. It's got a Sony sensor, which is pretty high end for a dash camera. It supports up to 256 gigabytes. It's also got a 2-inch screen, and then if you have power connected 24/7, it's got the parking monitor where it senses any kind of motion or any kind of disturbance to the car, and it'll start recording. The camera itself is pretty compact. It does come with a sticker mount, which I rather have than a suction mount. Dang, it still uses mini USB. That's a pretty old standard. Most stuff these days are micro USB or USB-C. Then you got the mount right here. Looks like the power plugs into the mount, so that's a good sign right there. The sticker doesn't come on here yet, so you got to peel and stick yourself. So it comes with two very high bond 3M double-sided tape, so that's good. And then it's got some wire management clips, which has also got 3M tape. It's like this green backing is usually a 3M or a Scotch brand tape. And then it comes with a little pry tool to get your wire all tucked away. Tear film off before installing. So this is some kind of film that you... So we're inside the car, and the first thing it told you to do was just peel the static sticker, mount it where you're gonna mount the camera at. So I put it right here. After that, you wanna peel that double-sided tape, put it where it says GPS, mount the power adapter or the base of it right here before you snap the camera on. Once you put the camera on, you need to adjust the bolt on the side. Aim it where you need to so it aims forward, and then connect your power. You have the option of connecting it straight to your cigarette lighter if you have it. I pulled my cigarette lighter here because it was falling apart, and I put a USB outlet here. I could go find a new USB cable and just plug it into here. What I'm going to actually do is run a hardwired. So I'm going to actually run the power up to here with a 12-volt socket hardwired up here, and I'm going to plug it into here and just leave all the wires above here. So we're gonna just go ahead and take this apart now and install it that way. So we'll start off by peeling the 3M tape, the little square piece that's the VHB. That's very high bond, if you don't know. Stick it where it says GPS, and this is where we're gonna be mounting our unit. I think they use this static sticker here. You could go directly straight to your windshield if you wanted to, but I think it gives you the option of peeling this off if you ever had to, or moving it. You wanna test fit, make sure everything's already adjusted the bolt so it's straight, so it looks good there. You just want to make sure this thing's get a good bond. Remember, this stuff has to sit in the sun all day, so you want to make sure everything's nice and sticky and on here first. Yeah, hopefully this static sticker piece that fits around here holds this to the windshield. I know my problem with some of the other Anker ones is with the 3M tape, when this thing sits in the sun, when it's 100 and something degrees down here in Florida inside the car, I come back and I usually find this thing drop down. I have to re-stick it back on. So once that's secure, you want to make sure this thing fits on here. So next thing we're going to do is just run the power now. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to try to get into here and find a power wire, a switched power wire that comes on when the car is on, so that way the camera only activates when we're using it or when we're driving. I really don't care about the 24-hour parking monitoring, so we just go ahead and pop this thing off. The easiest way to pop this thing off is just pop the trim. You don't want to pop the lens. If you saw one of my other videos where I added these LED lights here, you'll see that we just pop this trim around the edge and it comes off pretty easily. And once we're in there, we're able to unscrew and then pull this whole assembly down. Alright, now that we're inside here, you can see kind of what's in here, which is the controls and everything for the sunroof. And then we got the dome light coming into here into this harness. And then up here you've got the actual motor for the sunroof, and the whole sunroof motor assembly in there with the wiring. There is plenty of room back there, as you can see, where we could tuck all the wiring and everything that we're going to use. So the next thing I'm going to do is try to figure out which one of these wires is going to be accessory power. I'm going to look over here in the mirror also, because there is a wire that comes down to the mirror for the dimming option, which not all IS300s come with. This particular package, which is the Sport Cross with like almost all the options, has the dimming mirror. I figure the wires for the option is usually up here. We'll figure out what that harness does. Alright, so we took this harness off of here, I just popped that little cover and I pulled the harness down from the ceiling. So there's actually 4 wires that go from the car into the mirror. I figure 2 of these wires are power and ground that actually dims the mirror. The other 2 are probably the signal going back to the car that comes from the photocell here, the front and back photocells, which also activate the outside mirrors and dims those. So we'll go ahead and take a multimeter and test what is what. So after testing this with the multimeter, it was pretty simple. The 2 outside wires, which is the black and the red, are the positive and negative 12 volt for this. Like I said earlier, the yellow and the blue are probably the signal for the dimming circuit to go for the outside mirrors. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually take off this mirror. I'm gonna go ahead and take this whole harness and the mirror assembly off over to my soldering station and just solder straight to these 2 wires on here. To remove this mirror is pretty simple. Once you have the harness and everything disconnected, all you do is twist this mirror like that and it pops right down. And it's pretty easy, just a little cam lock that goes into there. This whole setup is a little different than most traditional mirrors, which is an Allen key to a little wedge. This is the first time I've really seen this on any car. It's kind of odd, must be a JDM Japanese thing. So to solder this, we're just gonna end up snipping into here. I just splice a hole, put wire from this one. I originally bought this as a splitter. If you need one of these on Amazon, I'll have a link down in the description, but I just end up cutting that off and then just using the wires coming out of here. You just gotta test which one's positive and negative. Remember, the outside ring of this is the negative and the center is always the positive. Remember, when you mount your cameras on this car or any car, you don't wanna block this photocell that's aiming forward. There's always a photocell aiming forward and a photocell aiming back right here. It compares the light in front of you and the light behind you to dim the mirror, so you don't want to block that with your dash camera. Alright, so we got everything soldered nice and neatly here with the heat shrink on. As you notice, I peeled that old foam. Really want to just peel all this off because it's going to end up deteriorating and looking like crap later on. So peel the rest of this off before I put it back together just to make it look better. Turns on, we got power. So this is good. So I'll go ahead and tuck everything together and clean this up and then plug it into the camera. Looks like everything powers up. Kingslim functional. Everything looks good. I'm gonna go ahead and put an SD card in here. I'm actually gonna test this side by side with my Anchor to record the same footage, and I'll show you guys the differences between the old 1080p and then what we got out of the 4K on this side by side. Hey guys, thanks for watching all the way to the end of this video on installing this Kingslim 4K dash camera, the D5 model. If you're interested in the exact same model, I'll have a link down in the description to this on Amazon. I think at the time of this recording, this thing's about $72 to $75, which is a pretty good value considering it's got the Sony sensor and it's got all the features that it comes with, and it's pretty slim and light, which is good for the dash. All my other anchor cameras that I use double-sided tape to the windshield, and on hot days, they end up falling off the windshield and hitting my dash or falling on the seat. So being light and the way this thing mounts is a pretty good advantage versus some of the older cameras that I have. So since you guys are all the way at the end of the video, last month on one of my videos I was giving away this Raze Volk Racing license plate frame. So I got these from volkframes.com. If you want one of these yourself for your car or two of these, I'll have a link down in the description to their website where you can pick up some of these. So for that giveaway, all I did was ask you guys to leave a comment about your favorite Volk wheels. So those of you that played along got a chance to win this. So I picked two winners, and the two winners I got today are, so I've got Tony G 2JZ. You're the first winner of this. Go ahead and send me an email to tunerwithkids@gmail.com. I'll have it right here at the bottom of the video. And the second winner is Oscar J. So Oscar J, also send me an email with your address and I'll send these over to you. So once again, thanks for watching all the way to the end of this video, guys. For all these different projects, whether it's on the car, on the house, in the garage, if I can do it, you guys can do it too. That's why I post these videos on the channel, so you guys can get some confidence and do this stuff yourself. If you guys found this video useful, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to your channel, go ahead and subscribe to your channel. Stay on top of all my different videos and different projects, and I'll talk to you guys next time.